This is XY Spark, restoring holistic, healthy masculinity. Thursday challenges you and challenges me to take the initiative to set some goals for ourselves and start doing things differently. That's going to help us to experience a shift in the way we see the world and in the way we see ourselves. I want you to imagine yourself as a piece of lumber, but the irony about being this piece of lumber is that being a piece of lumber is actually not your final destination. That's just the beginning of your journey. Because someday someone is going to come along and they are not going to see a piece of lumber. They're going to see a beautiful work of art. They are going to see a sculpture that can be on display in a museum, in a art gallery. However, the eye that the artist sees the chunk of lumber through is what encourages, or encourage rather, the artist to take this chunk of lumber home and start chipping and carving and sanding and cutting away at this chunk of lumber. And over time, as the weeks become months and the months may even become years, eventually, this seemingly useless chunk of lumber became something of beauty, became something of admiration as the artist took the initiative and shaped this once chunk of lumber and turned it into something beautiful and something sweet to look upon. Sometimes, for many of us, we only see ourselves as a chunk of lumber. We don't see ourselves as someone who can become a beautiful work of art. We don't see ourselves as somebody that can rise above the tides. We don't see ourselves as someone who is able to make it through the storms of life. We are not envisioning any change. We're not seeing the possibility to break cycles, to become more empowered, to become more useful, to become more admired, because we're not seeing the good in ourselves. Everybody else is seeing it. And even if no one sees it, it's important for you to recognize that the process of transformation requires a lot of hard work. So if you want to be transformed, it's not going to happen by you just sitting down or lying around or living a life that is not purpose driven. Transformation requires hard work. If you're going to be transformed, it requires that you have a vision, you have dreams. It requires that you are able to see more value in yourself than what you're seeing right now. It requires that you put yourself out there sometimes to see where the journey will take you. If you are going to be transformed, if you are going to be changed, if you are going to become the best version of yourself, it means then that there needs to be a lot more purpose driven approach to the way you are living your life right now. Yes, at first, when you looked in the mirror, you saw only a huge chunk of lumber. But I needed to go back and look in the mirror once again and visualize what beauty could this chunk of lumber become with some work, with some determination, with me or you putting some energy into it? What beautiful work of art could this chunk of lumber become if, when I am going through that molding and shaping process, I don't see it as a disaster, but I see it as a part of the process that's going to transform me into the beautiful work of art that I was meant to be? You're a work of art. Right now, I want you to remember that you're a work in progress. This is not your final destination. You're just at a roadside turnout right now. You've got to dust yourself off. You've got to start seeing more value in yourself. You've got to break cycles and start moving in a different direction. If the direction that you're going in, you recognize that it's not working, it's okay for you to make a U turn. It's okay for you to stop and reflect and reach out. Just reach out. Reach your hands out and say, hey, I need help. Grasp the possibility that is endless if you are willing and you are able to step out of your comfort zone and do something different. It's a Thursday. It's Transformation Thursday. You are not here by chance. I'm not sure where you are located right now. I'm not sure where you're sitting or standing. I'm not sure what your plans are for today. As the weekend marches on, I'm not sure what that looks like. Whatever it is, I want you to recognize today that the process of transformation and change is only possible when you are willing to take the initiative to do something different. So, what will you do today? What choices will you make beginning today? How will you challenge yourself to break away from the ordinary, to tap into the extraordinary? As you go off today on your way, I want you to reflect on this, that transformation is only and will only become possible when I'm willing to open myself up to new possibilities and see myself going in a different direction. Transformation is possible only when you are willing to do what it takes to take the initiative and break those cycles. So I would like you to repeat this thought after me as you go on your way today. Transformation is a process that I must be willing to invest time and energy. Transformation is a process in which I have to be willing to invest the time and the energy. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here again at XY Spark. This is your boy Rolando, and we continue to remind you that at XY Spark, we believe that there is a spark in